Let me first accept all the committee's suggested amendments, including amendments to limit this program to gas and electric safety. And also
move the bill.
Second.
All right. Bill's been moved. This is Senate Bill 1049. Bill's been moved and seconded. Committee amendments have been accepted.
Thank you.
Let's go to witnesses in support. It can only get worse from here.
Okay. Barry Broad on behalf of the utility workers and the engineers and scientists of California. And would have been the Teamsters, but you just took out rail. So just those two unions are in support of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. And to clarify, the amendments have removed all opposition, unless I'm wrong. Seeing none, bill's been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
If I could just...
sure. Go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Broad raised an issue that related to the bill never intended to include rail because there are already places where the reporting system is in place in the federal system that does that today. And so that's where we did it. So I respectfully ask for my vote. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Madam Secretary.
The motion is due pass as amended in the committee analysis and re-refer to the Appropriations Committee. Gatto.
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Patterson.
I'm clear that the opposition.
Yes.
Aye.
Patterson, aye. Burke. Chavez.
Aye.
Chavez, aye. Daly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Daly, no. Eggman. Cristina Garcia. Aye. Cristina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Hadley. Aye. Hadley, aye. Hernandez.
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Obernolte.
Aye.
Obernolte, aye. Quirk.
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Santiago. Ting. Williams.
Okay, that bill has passed. We will allow out-ons later. Okay.
Mr. Chair, thank you all for your indulgence today and for your support of these bills.
Thank you
We'll get
very
it
much.
solved. Thank you.
So we're in file order today. Next up is Mr. Wesso. We have two bills from Mr. Wesso. Senate Bill 745. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. I know you guys must be really tired, having had this very long day. If you will, Mr. Chair, I'll begin with the first bill, SB 1074, if that's okay. That's okay on 1074. Thank you. And again,
1041. Oh, I'm sorry. 10. Okay, so you want to start with 1074.
Is that okay?
That's just fine with us.
Okay. And
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I want to be clear because we had a motion on the first one. This motion now is on item 9, 1074, moved by Garcia, seconded by Mr. Patterson. Do you have witnesses in support?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Please be brief.
Delaney Hunter on behalf of Energy Source. We think this is a great way to pair renewables with mineral extraction to help saltancy. Ask for your vote.
And Richard Harmon on behalf of the County of Imperial in strong support.
Wonderful. Is there witnesses in opposition? Are there witnesses in opposition? I see people walking out, nobody walking up. All right. All right. Bill's been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary, please call the roll on 1074.
The motion is due pass and re-refer to the Appropriations Committee. Gatto.
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Patterson. Aye. Patterson, aye. Burke. Chavez. Aye. Chavez, aye. Daly. Aye. Daly, aye. Eggman. Cristina Garcia. Aye. Cristina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Hadley. Aye. Hadley, aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hernandez, aye. Burke, aye. Burke, aye. Obernolte. Obernolte, aye. Quirk.
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Santiago. Ting. Williams.
Okay, that bill is passed. We will allow add-ons later. Okay, next you have two more. Do you want to start with 745 or 1041?
745.
745. All right.
Thank you. And again,
move the bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you, member.
Okay.
And we are accepting the amendment.
Perfect. Yes, okay, so it's due. Motion is to do pass as amended with the committee amendments.
And we want to thank the chair and the staff for working with us on this important measure. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Let's witnesses in support. Are there witnesses in opposition? Seeing none, bill's been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended in the committee analysis and re-refer to the Appropriations Committee. Gatto.
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Patterson? No. Patterson, no. Burke? Burke, aye. Chavez? No. Chavez, no. Daly? No. Daly, no. Eggman? Christina Garcia? Aye. Christina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia? Hadley? Not voting. Hadley, not voting. Hernandez?
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Obernolte? No. Obernolte, no. Quirk?
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Santiago? Ting? Williams?
Okay, that bill is on call, and we'll revisit it later. And last, you have Senate Bill 1041. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, thank you for working with us on finding a more creative way to look at establishing rates for schools in a way that is commensurate to their use on the system. And the idea is not to overcharge schools their electric rates and not to have schools subsidize anyone else's electric rates as well. We had an issue in San Diego where we saw, in San Diego County, where we saw a combined increase in the county in the county schools' electric bill that amounted to about $30 million. That means $30 million less in the classroom. And so we started investigating this issue and found that there was a disparity in the way the rates are established for schools, and we had a bill to do that. But because the committee raised some concerns that approach might lead to increases for some districts, we don't think that is the case. But looking at the possibility of that, we don't want this bill to have an adverse effect and create an increase. And I think it's fair to acknowledge that should there be the potential, we don't want that to affect any school in any district in any part of the county. So we thought that this is a much better approach to have the CPUC conduct a study and consider the extent to which the average electric bills paid by schools will increase or decrease with their looking at this issue in terms of requiring that to act according to the causation principle and establishing the rates.
Move the bill.
Second.
And we have some testimony and support. And yes, we're accepting all the amendments proposed by the committee.
Okay, so I want to be clear for the committee, and I think we might need a substitute motion. So Mr. Wesser is offering amendments today that are being distributed. They're on your desk in mock-up fashion. I think the motion was technically for the bill as amended before, so we will need a substitute motion.
All right.
Okay, and
I'll make whatever that motion is.
Okay, just hold on. Okay. So in Section 1 of the bill, we are going to revise paragraph E to add a reference to the State Energy Efficiency Program and to strike paragraph G and to strike Section 2 of the bill and replace it with the language to require the CPUC to analyze and report to the legislature on electric rates and their effects on school electric bills, and we're going to strike Section 3 of the bill. So we have that in front of us, but we will need a substitute motion for it to be approved as described.
All right, so I'll make a substitute motion.
All right. Or to make it easier, why don't you just withdraw your motion?
Fine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Excuse me. I believe Mr. Hernandez made.
I'll withdraw my original motion.
Okay. Terrific. All right. So all motions have been withdrawn. Now I'll entertain a motion as I just described for the bill that's in mock-up form on everybody's desk.
I'll move as described by the chair.
Okay. All right. I think the procedure is now kosher, and we're all set to go. Let's go to witnesses in support.
Okay. Ana Ferreira on behalf of the School Energy Coalition, an organization statewide made up of schools and our associates to bring energy and water efficiency to California students. We appreciate Senator Wesso's effort to develop a rate for schools that is just and reasonable and reflects the cost of providing service. We understand the issues raised and would hope that this would provide more input to getting us there. In the wake of budget cuts, schools are doing more of these projects, but rate increases can erase return on investments and other problems that would take funding away from students and student achievement and have to put them into utility rates. So we support the bill as amended and appreciate and continue to work with the member. Thank you.
Next witness.
Eric Bach with the Los Angeles Unified School District. Just seeing the new amendments right now in print, I think these amendments address any concerns that we originally had with the bill. More importantly, I think to the senator's original intent is to try to find relief for school districts and the concern of rising costs of utility rates. I think we all know that schools are funded by the state. We don't have an opportunity to charge or pass along any additional costs, and any additional rate increases just come out of what we're able to provide to our students. So this study will definitely go a long way in terms of trying to identify the appropriate rate for schools. So we appreciate that.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any public comment in support? Is there witnesses in opposition?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. I'm Gil Topetti with the California Municipal Utilities Association with clarification today that Section 3 of the bill will be removed and the repivoting of the assessment on the issue for the schools. I look forward to recommending to CMUA that we remove our opposition when the bill's in print. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you.
Matt Kloppenstein with the Sacramento Municipal Utility District and the Southern California Public Power Authority. With the amendments, we would also remove our opposition.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Chavez.
Yes, Senator Hueso, reading the amendments, Section 2A, it deals specifically with public elementary schools. Is there any reason in the study we're not looking at high schools? Why did you just select K through 8?
What did you say? It should be K-12. The bill is supposed to make reference to K through 12.
So that's wrong?
Yes.
Where is this?
Okay. I would think if we're going to do a study, because as you know, school districts or unified school districts can.
Our intent is K through 12, so that's what it should say. Where is it? Where is it?
Your mock-up, first page, Section 2, 749.5A.
Okay.
Electric services specific to public elementary schools.
Elementary and secondary schools.
That's what it should say.
Well, that's it's been.
So we got the language from
Yeah,
their staff. I don't think anybody's opposed to that change happening. We will not do anything if you make that change.
We'll make that change.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Okay.
pointing that out.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Hadley.
Staying on that exact same section, I'm a proud advocate for the public schools in my district, but I suspect that the private elementary and secondary schools have very similar patterns of consumption, during the day, the same types of things that we're hoping to see advantages of in a rate-making study. Is there any reason you're narrowing this to public schools?
I think to the extent that the funds are government funds that fund these schools. Generally, that's our concern, right? That we're trying to be mindful of the taxpayer dollar.
I don't hear that from a Democrat often.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay, the bill has been moved by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by Mr. Quirk. Would you like to close?
Just simply ask for your support. This is a very important issue, keeping our education dollars in the classroom, paying for instruction and education, and not necessarily for unnecessary cost and energy. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended with the amendments distributed during the hearing and re-refer to the Appropriations Committee. Gatto.
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Patterson.
No.
Patterson, no. Burke. Burke, aye. Chavez.
Aye.
Chavez, aye. Daly. Daly, not voting. Eggman. Christina Garcia. Aye. Eduardo Garcia. Christina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Hadley.
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Hernandez.
Aye.
Hernandez, aye. Obernolte.
No.
Obernolte, no. Quirk.
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Santiago. Ting. Williams.
Okay, we're going to place that bill on call. We'll hold the roll open for absent members. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members.
Okay, just a quick announcement to the staffs of absent members. We're going to try to wrap up this hearing pending the next 3 bills at about 5 o'clock. We're going to hold the roll open until about 5 o'clock. Again, depending on how these next bills go. So if we could get the absent members here, we'd appreciate it. And you're up next, Senator Pavley. Thank you. The floor is yours. You have one bill before us. It's Senate Bill 886.
One bill before you. Thank you very much to you and your staff for working with us on this particular bill. It's on grid reliability and some of the problems and challenges we face as a result of the Aliso Canyon and lessons learned from that. First, let me start with accepting the amendments from the staff. The first amendment was page 3, section 1, deleting a section. Section 2, page 4 is okay. 2 areas in section 3 where, if permissible, we'll accept the amendments, but I'd love for you to work with my staff regarding looking again at integrated resource planning process just to reduces the flexibility that my staff worked very hard to secure for the munis. And we'll just have an ongoing discussion. This won't be on the floor till August, and we have 4 weeks. So we're accepting the amendments, but maybe we want to come back and revisit and modify that one section with your staff working with mine, subject to, of course, your approval. It has to go to approps and
sure,
then
that's
to the
fine.
floor. We have
That's
4
fine.
weeks of, and Assemblymember Gatto, you and I don't have to spend all of July negotiating this bill.
Somehow I suspect I will. But
Oh, shucks. Okay, well, there's. And with that, how would you like to proceed? So what the goal of this is to learn from lessons of the past on Aliso Canyon. We became, frankly, over-reliant on an 86.6 billion cubic feet natural storage reservoir that provides the natural gas and the fuel to power 17 power plants all along Southern California. We should have learned from what I remember now was the hard lesson learned. I came in as a freshman legislator in 2001, and with the energy deregulation, realized energy companies could game our system, and we weren't resilient. We weren't safe. It did tremendous economic damage. So what did we learn from deregulation? We learned to invest in renewable energy so that we had sort of a portfolio or a suite of different ways to get energy needs. So when Aliso Canyon went down, we realized we were over-reliant on one energy source. So this bill looks at diversifying the energy supply. I think that's just smart. It's economically sound. It's better for the 32,000 residents that are nearby, and it'll put us in a better place if and when anything like this happens again, and hopefully not. My bill ensures that as the utilities update their investment plans, which was part of Senator DeLeon's integrated resource planning policy in SB 350 that was signed by the governor, they also consider diversification of the energy storage. It paves the pathway for more distributed resources and diversifies our energy supply. It has a lot of support from entrepreneurs and everyone else, and I know the arguments will be we're increasing it too quickly based on the Skinner bill in the past, and it costs too much. Well, the Skinner bill was built on the 33% portfolio standards. We're now going to have to go up to 50% due to SB 350 by 2030, and we need to keep pace with that. it gives that strong market signal. Can they do it? Well, they said there was concern that they couldn't do it when Skinner's bill was passed several years ago. But look at what Southern California Edison accomplished. They set a storage goal for utilities meet. SCE, my utility, procured over 250 megawatts of storage in the first round alone, half of what they were required to do. Originally, they said it was too tough, too fast, too expensive, but they proved it wasn't. We have many cases like that in the legislature, at least during my 14 years. So I ask for your aye vote.
Terrific. Let's go to your first witness.
Yeah, this is Alex Morris with the California Energy Storage Alliance. I'll be very brief. I just wanted to highlight two things. First, although we've made great progress with the Skinner bill, wanted to emphasize that yielded a procurement target for energy storage of about a bit over 1,000 megawatts. And just to give you some numbers, the CAISO manages over 50,000 megawatts. And with the Aliso Canyon, there's roughly 10,000 megawatts of gas-fired generation that's at risk. And the ramping needs of the system are projected to be 14,000 megawatts and growing. So those numbers highlight how the role of storage so far is very small, and this helps us continue to get it ready. And secondly, I wanted to emphasize that CISA manages and represents 70 member companies from all around the world who are very interested in paying attention today, and the decisions of this committee will register with them, and they will continue to focus and build their efforts to serve California and help in our renewables integration challenges. So thank you.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Andrew Meyer, co-founder of Swell Energy, storage provider based in Los Angeles. I'll be brief as well. I want to highlight the benefits of behind-the-meter storage. Behind-the-meter storage delivers value to customers, utilities, and the California public. For end customers, we at Swell provide solutions that seamlessly manage electric bills and provide backup power in the event of a power outage. At the same time, we can use software to operate our growing fleet of storage resources to deliver clean power to California utilities when and where it's needed most, while avoiding the potentially costly losses of the transmission system. Finally, operating this clean virtual power plant benefits the California public by reducing our reliance on old greenhouse gas emitting power plants. And I just want to highlight one part of the bill. There is a section relating to electric rates. With rooftop solar and electric vehicles, we've seen that the right price signal is very important, coming from the electric company to the end customer. Time of use rates and dynamic pricing tailored to behind-the-meter storage will both reward homeowners and businesses for installing energy storage systems while delivering grid benefits and reducing peak demand. Just want to highlight that part. It's a new addition, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Let's go to public comment and support.
Christy Weiss on behalf of Solar City in support.
Matt Kloppenstein for the California Solar Energy Industry Association in support.
Jamie Miner for Marin Clean Energy in support.
Catherine Brandenburg on behalf of Sonoma Clean Power in support.
Nick Brokaw on behalf of the Solar Energy Industry Association on support.
Genevieve Gale on behalf of the Environmental Defense Fund in support.
Eddie Moreno on behalf of Sierra Club California in support.
Julie Gill with AES in support.
Terrific. Let's go to witnesses in opposition now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gil Topidi with the California Municipal Utilities Association. Unfortunately, we have to oppose SB 886 today. That's because it kind of creates what I would phrase as an extra energy storage appendage to what is existing law now. What wasn't clarified in any of the materials given to the committee today was that in 2010, AB 2514 Skinner created energy storage targets for the CPUC to apply to IOUs, given that authority, but it also required POUs to look at energy storage targets with near identical language that is in 2836.1. So handed to all of you now is 2836, the existing law that I have highlighted there that not only requires us to look at any energy storage target threshold for any period of time, but it also requires us every 3 years to reevaluate it. Now, 2836.1 does create some new authority for the CPUC and does include the community choice aggregators. But here you have hanging on a limb now a new requirement for POUs to specifically look at 2030 energy storage target. Is this in addition to 2836 process that we will have to undertake by October 2017, or in addition to? Is this duplicative work or not? And currently, right now, Mr. Chairman and committee members, 2 examples. For Los Angeles DWP, they already have 154 megawatts of energy storage targeted for 2021, and Glendale Water and Power has a 2030 energy storage target between 20 and 30 megawatts. The POU community has already broad flexibility under 2836 to look at, reevaluate, and choose the right cost-effective, if any, targets under existing law. We would ask that the section in 2836.1 be eliminated. It shouldn't apply to us. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chair and members, Valerie Torella-Vlahos. Oh, sorry, Ms. Hunter. Okay. Valerie Torella-Vlahos with PG&E and testifying in opposition. I want to thank the committee and the chairman for the work on the bill. The amendments that were accepted are helpful. Want to speak to quickly the customer side of the meter concept, and just note that we're reviewing that. The devil's in the details there. We do want to work with your staff to see that a new rate for customers. We wouldn't want to see it to be mandatory for all customers. We would want it to avoid any cost shifting to non-participants, and of course adhere to all of our stated goals that energy storage must meet for the grid and to reduce greenhouse gases. On the remaining pieces of the bill, we do see fundamentally that in creating a target, Ms. Pavley was right that I was going to say it's premature. That it is premature when we're still living under the 1,300 megawatts of the Skinner bill. We're evaluating whether all of the benefits will be received. We need to evaluate how does the cost go down, and I do think fundamentally it still is in conflict with the IRP, even though the Integrated Resources Plan and language is being removed, because we need to go forward. I think what we hoped that we agreed to, what we thought we agreed to in SB 350 was that we'll go forward with a technology neutral process and getting to our ultimate 2030 goals. We do also want to speak to the unevenness of how the targets are applied. And I would say, for example, in the Skinner bill, those targets applied to the load serving entities of CCAs and energy service providers. The PUC put a target of 1% of their peak load as their target. This bill makes it, for example, discretionary on community choice aggregators. We are opposed to that language. Finally, I would just wrap up that there is a cost factor here. We need to get to our goals in a cost-effective way. I just want to let you know that a single mom with 2 kids that makes $40,000 and $40,321 a year does not qualify for care. It is a low threshold in this economy of California. Our customers, they're just like all the other customers and all the other load serving entities and want to live their life with affordable energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Please don't repeat. If you guys could be as brief as possible, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I will do my best. Mr. Chair, members, Cindy Howe with Southern California Edison. And while we appreciate the work of the committee and the author, the amendments in the analysis do move the bill in a better direction. Unfortunately, Southern California Edison continues to oppose the bill. With regard to behind the meter customer storage, Southern California Edison procured toward our target of 2016 of 25 megawatts, 225 megawatts, 0.4. So we're not motivated by the target. We're motivated by what's happening in the market and the opportunities to procure storage. We're very much supportive of storage. There's a place in our portfolio. We completely agree with Senator Pavley with regard to diversifying the portfolio, and we think that the direction SB 350 just last year passed by this legislature to develop integrated resources plans is the right approach to achieving what are extraordinarily ambitious 2030 goals for GHG reduction. With this, that's the state policy. We've got to do everything we can to get there. storage is an important part of that. The purpose of the integrated approach is, as PG&E said, to look at value, to look at cost effectiveness. Our procurement pursuant to Assemblymember Skinner's 2514 is only beginning to go online in 2018. We've got a lot to learn related to reliability, related to costs on that procurement, and we think it's premature to establish a new target, and we think that the new paradigm really needs to look at a more cost-effective, the most cost-effective approach we can use to reach our 2030 GHG goals, and for those reasons, oppose the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Israel Salas, Semper Utilities, San Diego Gas and Electric. And in the interest of time, I want to associate my comments with my colleagues from PG&E. The only thing that I would add is that these penny mandates add up over time, and it's our customers and your constituents that have to eventually pay those costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment in opposition.
Mr. Chairman and members, Delaney Hunter on behalf of the Southern California Public Power Authority. We remain opposed. I would associate my comments with those of Gilda PD for CMUA. We already have to do this every 3 years. We don't understand why there needs to be an additional target and why, on top of those two things, we already have to manage an IRP process. We just feel like it's unnecessary regulatory sort of burden on our small utilities to manage this stuff while we're trying to keep your lights on. Thanks.
Amy Mogg on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce in opposition.
Thank you. Turning back to the committee now. Questions, comments? Mr. Daly.
In the sake of time, I just want to say that, in 2016, we extended the solar target credits when they weren't even due. We actually did it in 2014. I think this is premature. We've already set the Skinner date, and I think we should hold off for a little bit before we move forward on a new target, and I'm going to be opposing the bill.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley.
Is anybody here from the Office of Ratepayer Advocates?
They talk timed out.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'll just ask the question for the record since I've got the microphone on. I see them as a support, and I'll follow up with them later. I'd be interested to know why. I mean, this is about shifting costs and benefits within the ratepayer base, not necessarily. I don't think this is going to lower cost. Whether it increases cost or not, I'm not sure yet. That's why I think we have the IRP and the other things in place. But I'll follow up with them separately. Thank you.
Terrific. Ms. Burke.
I guess I have a similar concern that I don't know, but someone here may be able to address mine. And it comes back to cost again, because obviously this isn't free. Storage is still expensive. And I'm just trying to figure out at what point we hit a threshold where storage becomes less expensive. Do we actually know that? Because we have the Skinner bill in place, but we're saying we need another market signal. And I just don't want to keep giving these never-ending market signals without a notion as to, at some point when I go back to my community and say, look, your rates are going up, but at this point, when we've procured this much storage, we will then start to see a return on investment for you, and maybe your bill will go down. I'm just trying to figure out, when do we hit that threshold?
That's what I was trying to say.
There you go.
Thanks, Assemblymember Burke. This is Alex again with the CISA. We're seeing a lot of cost declines in the storage market, and part of the language of the bill, I think this is really important, is that the storage needs to be cost effective. So what that does is it says when you do your analysis, you're talking to Edison or PG&E, make sure that the benefits outweigh the costs, and they have very sophisticated spreadsheets and valuation tools for making these decisions. And so we've already seen them using that cost effectiveness language in their procurement to meet capacity needs once songs went down. So that's why they procured so much extra capacity. In that instance was they tripled the storage target anyone had anticipated, and they did that because it was more cost effective than other resources. So partly what this bill does is it gives them the freedom to pursue this, and it gives them a sort of legislative direction that if this is the most cost-effective resource, you should do it. So I think it's a helpful set of guiding principles for them on these matters. And then, meanwhile, just on lithium-ion storage costs, those are dramatically reducing all the time. It's on a cost reduction curve similar to what many people liken it to solar PV cost reductions. And so this type of signal for CISA members who have manufacturing facilities in Korea is meaningful. It tells them, okay, California is getting serious. That's the 7th largest economy in the world. We better start gearing up and getting our costs down so we can compete over there.
So through the chair,
Sure.
So what you're saying is if it's not cost effective and they don't meet the requirement because it's not cost effective, no one is penalized? Do they have to buy it or not? I think that's the question. I kind of hear everyone muttering under that.
So if, of course, Senator Pavlik, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's not cost effective, they do not have to procure it. So the procurement directive given and ultimately issued in this case would say, go forth and buy only cost-effective energy storage. And so utilities have the authority and would say direction to do their analyses. And if it's not cost-effective, then they need to go and say, here, it turned out to not be cost-effective. This justifies our decision. And we've seen some of that already as well, where San Diego recently tried to look at an energy storage construct at a substation to defer maintenance on the substation. And they realized, in this instance, it didn't make sense to install storage, and they chose to go forward with a different path there. So that cost-effectiveness language helped them in that instance to do what was in the best interest of ratepayers.
And I can read the section of the bill that's applicable to that, if I may, on page 3 of the bill itself. The Commission shall determine appropriate targets, if any, for each load-serving entity to procure viable and cost-effective energy storage systems. That gives them the goal of doing that, putting it into their consideration, and it has to be cost-effective. We have a challenge here. We've had San Onofre, when that went down, we thought our whole economy was going to tank without access to adequate energy supply. It was amazing what could be done in coming up with a different strategy. We had the same concern with renewables. The costs, they eventually came down. Photovoltaic cells came down, became extremely cost effective. What the challenge is here is we have a very risky situation going down in Southern California, where too much of our natural gas is tied up in one large reservoir. We've already had one massive leak. Well, how about an earthquake, or how about a fire? Shouldn't we have a diversification of energy supply? And what storage does is allow renewables to essentially operate 24/7. Right now, we know wind is only good when it's blowing, or sun's only good while the sun is out. This gives actually more economic certainty. Right now, we're faced with the challenge of energy reliability. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back if there's another leak and face that we have done nothing to sort of prepare and minimize risks in the future. I think this works not only with our climate goals, it's consistent with SB 350, which you're going to have to meet in 2030. I think the language in the bill, it sends that direction that we need to realize that we have another target in place, right, because of SB 350, and provides the PUC gives them authority to look at this, whether targets are necessary and how they do it in a cost-effective way. Ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. This bill has been moved by Garcia, seconded by Mr. Quirk. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended in the committee analysis and re-refer to the Appropriations Committee. Gatto?
Aye.
Gatto, aye. Patterson?
No.
Patterson, no. Burke? Aye. Burke, aye. Chavez? No. Chavez, no. Daly? No. Daly, no. Eggman? Christina Garcia? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Eggman, aye. Christina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia? Aye. Eduardo Garcia, aye. Hadley? Hernandez? Obernolte?
No.
Obernolte, no. Quirk?
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Santiago? Ting?
Aye.
Ting, aye. Williams?
All right, that bill is going to be placed on call. We'll come back to it later. Thank you very much. Okay, we have 2 more bills left. We've already passed my 5 o'clock goal.